opened the Engineer's Grimoire, a field manual for banishing circuit gremlins and keeping the magic smoke where it belongs, forged in solder and bound by mystery. Once whispered about in dimly lit workshops and passed between those who dared to build beyond the veil, this is your handbook for surviving the technical unknown. I'm Rachel DeBarros, your guide, witch of the workbench, and keeper of the grimoire. Each episode, we turn a new page to explore the tools, wiring, and code you'll need to bring your Arduino-powered creations to life and keep them from turning into cursed artifacts. This is engineering with a touch of the arcane. Before we begin today's ritual, or lesson, just a reminder, you can find all the wiring diagrams, pinouts, code, and extra tools from this episode over at racheldebarros.com. Go check it out after this episode. It's like finding the digital Necronomicon, but instead of summoning demons, you summon working circuits. Tonight, we sharpen one of the strangest tools in your arsenal, your own nose. Forget expensive test gear, forget fancy diagnostics. In the dark of your workshop, before the smoke rises, you may catch the first warning sign of failure, a smell. This is the smell of doom, how to spot burn components by nose alone. The first encounter. It's late. Your workbench sits in shadow, broken only by the halo of your magnifying lamp. You've wired up a new circuit, an amplifier, a robot, maybe a prop for Halloween night. You flip the switch. The LEDs blink, the motors hum. For a moment, all seems well. But then, something subtle, a faint, acrid tang. Burnt popcorn? Melted crayons? A scent that doesn't belong. You know something has gone wrong, though your eyes see nothing. That's the spirit of a component, leaving its earthly package behind. In electronics, we just call it a burnt IC. That's where tonight's ritual begins, following the smell of doom. Why smell matters. Electronics whisper their secrets in more ways than one, through blinking LEDs, through rising heat, and yes, through scent. When a component overheats, its materials break down. Epoxy, plastic, silicone, even the copper traces, they all have their own signature aroma. This isn't just a parlor trick. Smelling doom can save you hours of troubleshooting, and in some cases, it can save your circuit from total annihilation. The suspects and their scents. Now we walk through the rogues gallery, one by one. Each has its scent, its omen. Integrated circuits, or ICs. When an IC burns, it smells like hot plastic and singed hair mixed together. Sharp, chemical, unmistakable. The smoke may not even be visible, but that smell, it'll haunt your workshop for days, like someone left a wig too close to a candle. Voltage regulators and power transistors. These smell darker, heavier, like a space heater left on too long, or the faint singe of overheated wiring. The regulators tend to cook their plastic casing until it smells faintly like toasted extension cords. Capacitors. Electrolytics are the drama queens. They don't just fail. they burst. And when they do, the smell is fishy. Literally, like rancid seaweed. If your workshop suddenly smells like low tide, don't go looking for mermaids. One of your caps has blown its soul, and trust me, cleaning up the goo is worse than smelling it. Resistors. Burned resistors smell like scorched wood, or like someone tried to roast bread with a soldering iron. That's the carbon film or metal oxide cooking off. If your workshop starts to smell like someone's tragic breakfast, check those resistors. PCB traces. This one's grim. When a trace burns, the fiberglass board itself chars. The smell? Sweet and acrid, like plastic campfire marshmallows. Once you smell it, you know the damage is permanent. That board may never walk this earth again. The chemistry of doom. These smells aren't just phantoms. They're chemistry escaping. Epoxy in ICs releases phenolitic compounds when scorched. That sharp plastic stink. Electrolytic capacitors boil their organic solvent, which gives off that unmistakable fishy tang. FR4 fiberglass in PCBs releases formaldehyde and other gases when burned. Sickly sweet. Acrid. Unforgettable. Carbon film resistors literally cook, producing a smell like wood smoke because the carbon layer is burning away. So when you smell doom, you're not just catching a hint of failure, you're breathing the molecular obituary of your component. Recognizing early warning signs. Your nose is powerful, but it's not your only tool. The best engineers spot trouble before it smells. Look for discoloration, a resistor body turning brown, or a PCB patch yellowing. Watch those capacitors, bulging tops, tiny leaks, or a cross-shaped vent about to split. Check those solder joints. Overheated ones go dull, brittle, sometimes with tiny cracks. Search for scorching, faint marks around pins, traces, or component legs. These are the whispers before the scream, the shadows before the ghost fully shows itself. Using your nose like a tool. Here's the ritual for circuit divination by scent. First, power off immediately once you smell something wrong. 2, fan the air lightly with your hand. Don't inhale directly like you're sampling a fine wine. You just want to waft the scent closer. 3, follow the trail. Move your nose slowly across the board, pausing just above each suspicious cluster of components. 4, compare zones. The scent grows sharper near the guilty party. Sometimes you'll even feel the faint warmth. And finally, confirm with touch, but carefully. Once cooled, a burnt component often feels brittle or looks discolored. Repair or salvage rituals. So you found the culprit. What now? ICs and regulators. If the casing is cracked or bubbled, replacement is the only cure. Desolder carefully to avoid lifting the pads. Resistors. Burnt ones can be swapped, but check what caused the overcurrent first. Replacing without fixing the root cause only summons the smell again. Capacitors. A bulging or leaking cap must be replaced, never reused. Clean the board with isopropyl alcohol to banish residue. Burned traces. If fiberglass is blackened, beware. Carbonized board can become conductive, creating ghost currents. You can sometimes bridge small burns with a wire jumper, but deep charring means the board's soul is gone. Repair is possible, But sometimes the wisest ritual is letting the board rest in peace. Prevention rituals. To avoid ever smelling doom in the first place, give your components proper power, regulate voltage, respect current limits. Add fuses or resettable polyfuses as protective wards against overcurrent. Mind your heat. Heat sinks, airflow, even just spacing out components properly are your silver crosses. And always double check polarity before plugging in. Nothing summons smoke faster than backwards capacitors. Because once your nose tells you something's wrong, the damage may already be written in smoke. So the next time your workshop fills with the faint aroma of melted crayons, burnt toast, or ghostly seaweed, you'll know. That isn't just your imagination. It's the smell of doom, drifting up from the underworld of your circuit board. This has been another entry from the Engineer's Grimoire. Another revealed page from the handbook that wards off the chaos that haunts your circuits, guides your soldering hand, and teaches the practical magic behind electronics. Visit racheldebarros.com for wiring diagrams, code, and more beginner-friendly projects waiting for you like spellbooks on dusty shelves, where even the air itself carries warnings if you dare to breathe them in. Enjoyed this episode? Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share Engineer's Grimoire with your fellow builders and circuit sorcerers. You never know who else is out there, staring at their breadboard, wondering why the LED won't light. Until next time, may your board stay cool, your components live long, and may you never smell the fishy breath of a dying capacitor in the dead of night.